All right, everybody. Today we're going to talk about trades, and this is one of my favorite topics because this is what makes fantasy football fun. The art of knowing your team, knowing its strengths and weaknesses, knowing players on other people's teams and targeting them and going after those in order to strengthen your team is just fun. The negotiating of a trade is fun. The execution of it is fun. It's certainly to me one of my favorite parts of dynasty football. Maybe probably number one is winning a championship, and number two is executing a fun trade. Um, as far as dynasty football, I've said in the previous video, there's three ways that you can improve your team in a dynasty league, because your 25 players are your players until they retire, you drop them, or you trade them. So in order to make your team better, you can work the waiver wire, which is all the players, consists of all the free agents that aren't currently on a team. Well, if you've got 25 players on 12 rosters, that's 300 players. So the perceived top 300 players are already on a team. So you think a player that's ranked number 301 is going to change your team? It's probably not likely. So waiver wire is going to be a hard way. Not saying you shouldn't work the waiver wire, because you'll find a nugget or two there a year, but it's going to be a hard way to build and change your team. Second is through the rookie draft. Rookie draft is once a year. It's 5 rounds. And what's the hit rate in with rookies being fantasy relevant in the NFL? I think in the first round, you might hit a 33% hit rate. And after that, you're 10, 15, and the third round and on, you're about 5% to 0%. So the rookie draft is a way, but it's a hard way to turn your team around and to build a team. And most likely it's not going to happen in one rookie draft. It's going to take a couple, and it's also going to take time, because those rookies usually don't produce year one. So if I think I've got a team that I got to rebuild through the rookie draft, I'm probably 2 drafts and then a year waiting for them to develop. I'm probably 3 years away from competing. The last way, what we're going to talk about today, is trading. If you are able to make good trades, where with each trade you're incrementally making your team better, that's how you can improve your team. So today we're going to talk about 3 things. I'm going to walk you through some trade calculators that you can use to help you value trades. And then I'm going to show you on the app and the website how to execute trades. So first of all, I'll talk about trade calculators. So trade calculators are a tool that you can use to value trades. And the important thing to remember on trades is, let me get to this. Trades are, trades got to be a win-win. You got to get somebody else to accept that win, or accept that trade also. So unless you're putting something out there that's fair, that you perceive makes your team better and they perceive makes their team better, you're not going to get a deal done. So it does take some work. If you're just trying to steal talent from other people's teams, obviously that's not going to work. So trade calculator is a tool. Here's 4 of them. Keep Trade Cut is a free online website. It's not bad. It uses algorithms. It basically tabulates your answers to every time you log in. It's going to ask you, it's going to put up 3 players, and it's going to ask you, which one would you keep, which one would you trade, which one would you cut? And it uses that in order to build a ranking. So it's kind of like a market value of players. What's the market think these players are worth? So that's one. And in a trade calculator, what a trade calculator allows you to do is put the players you're giving up on one side versus the players that you want to receive on the other side, and it gives a value to each player or each draft pick, if you're including a draft pick, in order to come up with a balanced trade. Dynasty Nerds is a website that does all kinds of fantasy football content. Included in that is a trade calculator. Dynasty Elite Football, that's probably my favorite, the one I use the most. Again, a website that puts out fantasy football content, has lots of different tools, and within it is a trade calculator. Dynasty Trade Calculator is also the same thing. The bottom 3 there, Dynasty Nerds, Dynasty Elite Football, and Dynasty Trade Calculator, are subscription based. So you're going to have to pay a little bit of money to get those. just to give you an idea what these look like, here's Dynasty League football, and here's what a calculator looks like. So I can go in here and I can pull up Stefon Diggs, and I can go over here and let's say, so in this case, I want to offer Stefon Diggs to the team that has the 112. So the first, this year's draft pick, it's the 12th pick in the first round. And they're saying Diggs has a value of 301 and that pick has a value of 229. So based on their calculus, this is the better trade, or this is the better side. So I might look at that and say, well, why don't I throw in their 212? Well, it's not going to let me do it because I'm not signed in. I can add a second pick, and maybe that equal out the value. Let me see if I can log in here real quick. Or before I did this, but see if this gets me in quick. I don't want to hold up too long. Okay, so let's go back to that. So Diggs on this side, the 112 on this side, because of the value difference. Okay, so this changed the settings, and based on these settings, what happens when you try to do a live video, huh? All right, there's Diggs. There's the 112. So based on these settings up here might have been different on that first example, but based on these settings, it's saying that the pick's worth slightly more than Diggs. So if I'm good enough, I think that's close enough. That's great, but maybe I'm, you know, no, I want to equalize the value out, or if I'm going to give up Diggs, I want to win this trade. And maybe they have the 5th pick, so I could throw in, hey, I want the 305 too. So I want Diggs and the 305 for the 112. Just an example. Up here, you can set settings. So this is a 10, 12, 14, 16 team league. Is it 1 quarterback or 2 quarterbacks? So for our league, you'd want this set at 12, that set at 2. We are a tight end premium. So those are the settings that you'd want to run by, and you'll see that as you change the settings, it slightly changes the values because players and picks are worth different levels based on how deep the league is. So that's a trade calculator. Hopefully that all jives and that makes sense. So now I'm going to jump in. I want to show how to execute a trade. So here's the home page of our league. Real simple. I hit trades. Who do I want to trade with? There's the 2 rosters. We're under AmeriLight. Here's the players. Here's the draft picks. Trail Runner. Here's the players. Here's the draft picks. So if I want to do Jamar Chase for the 102 and a first next year, and Sterling Shepard, I select those, jump down, and hit propose trade, and that trade offer goes out to my opponent. So that's how you do it on the site. Super easy. So next, let's look at the app. So first on the app, So first on the app, this is what your main menu looks like. So you log in on the app, you're going to click on Manage Roster. Once you're in Manage Roster, it's going to take you to well, I think I didn't take a yeah, this is once you go hit Manage Roster, it would take you to this screen. At this screen, you can hit Propose New Trade. Once you hit Propose New Trade, it'll take you to this screen. Once you're in this screen, you're going to click on Add Player Receive. When you hit Add Player Receive, it'll list all of the teams. Once I click on one of these teams, it'll list all the players and all the draft picks. So I just select the players and the draft picks that I want to receive. Then click on Add Player to Give Up. That'll bring up all of my players and all of my draft picks. So I select the ones that I want to give up. I can put comments in here. I want to say, hey, I'm looking for a running back. Let me know what you think of this. You can put whatever comments you want in, hit submit, and you've submitted your trade offer. Trade offers should go, their notifier setup where trade offers should go out to your opponent. Sometimes it's good just to hop into GroupMe and shoot a GroupMe out that says, hey, at AmeriLite, sent you over a trade offer. Sometimes great to negotiate trades. I would do them outside the group chat, either do a direct mail chat in GroupMe or text outside of GroupMe. Last thing, I guess I meant to mention this earlier and didn't, but draft picks. Draft picks can be traded. So as I showed with the Diggs example, sending Diggs and a draft pick for a better draft pick, anything like that is all part of the game. So that is trading. I hope this was helpful. Have fun trading. Like I said, it's one of the fun pieces of fantasy football. So have a great day, everybody.